I'm back. You're back. We're going to have a show. I've got a good show for you. If you saw my brief little intro a few minutes ago, you know that unfortunately Joe is ill, but we pray for his speedy recovery, and we'll be back from the 97.7 studios. I mean, that place is great, right there in the McAllen Creative Incubator. But for today, we are in the Otter's Lair, okay? I want you to know something, that I have at my disposal the comments right here. Okay, so I got them on my screen, on my computer screen. So I got my mug right here. Okay, I've got your comments when they come in, and if that doesn't work, I've got this on my side over here. So we're gonna have a good show today. I gotta check the top of the computer here, see if everything's going well. Everything looks like it's going pretty good so far with the top of my computer. Ladies and gents, I love America. We have come to some dire straits recently, but we will go through them to get to where we want to be. I promise you, we will get there. Okay? There will not be a time when we will lose all hope, be, as the term is today, black-pilled. That's not going to happen. Okay? A lot of people are losing the ability to hope, to think that, well, you know what? We are going to be a free nation once again. Well, those of us that are here today, we're not those people. Okay? We are the people. We are who we are. And we are not going to lose hope. I'm telling you right now, we are not going to lose hope. Just in case, I got the comments listed here too. I also, I'm using a program called Restream, if anybody cares. It works pretty good. Joe usually does it in the studio, but I don't have the view of it. So hopefully I've got the comments here, or I have them here. It'd be much easier to do here. Now, that being said, also at my computer, I am able to do things like what you see on the screen here, right? So you see the Bitcoin otter right there. You see, the little otter there. I don't know. Maybe I should make them bigger. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I should make them so you can't see my face and just the otter talking. Maybe. I don't know. However, I'm going to go down the list of things of what it is I mean to talk about today. And I don't want to take up a lot of your time. I do want to tell you that I value your time. I value the fact that you are tuning in, because I believe it is it's a mission that I've been given to tell people about the things that I've learned. I got here in the Valley in 1997, and I was working midnights, and I discovered Coast to Coast AM with Art Bell. And I remember hearing some of those shows, and me and my friends would laugh at them, and still do. But it helped me understand that there are things out there that we need to dig at to get to the truth. We need to dig to get to the truth, because there is an active, aggressive agenda out there to hide the truth from us. So that's why I have these founding documents of those genius founding fathers. Okay? They wrote these founding documents, right? And what they formatted, what they came to present us, is what we live in now. It's called a republic. Definitely not a democracy. So, and I've gone over that before. But first, you guys need something, call me. Okay? This is the Otter phone right here. 737-256-9339. Give me a call. I can help you out with cryptocurrency stuff. If you want to talk about a certain subject, hit me up. BitcoinOtter.com is the website. And bitcoinotter.media@gmail.com is obviously the email. So if you need to contact me, please use those. I'll pop them up a little later. Now, here's the first story I want to talk about today. This is a New York Slimes article. Now, in this New York Slimes article, and as you can see, the image that I cut out for the show today has a paywall blocker, because I will never, ever. They want $1 a week. I wouldn't give them your dollar. There's no way. I'm not going to pay that organization any money. Not at all. Not at all. So basically, the headline says it all. It doesn't. And I'm going to translate for you. Coinbase accused of breaking market rules as crypto crackdown widens. Okay, so there's a crypto crackdown, eh, Mr. New York Slimes? A crypto crackdown. Well, I'll tell you what. This crypto crackdown, it could be. Who knows? We never know, right? Investments are risky. Could be a crypto crackdown. We just don't know, ladies and gentlemen. We don't know. But I think not. It'll be a stock market crackdown, I think, a real estate crackdown, but I don't think Bitcoin's going to crack down. It'll go down, but we're looking for good things after that. Anyway, as I will allude to in another story today, the fact that the usual suspects, in this case a government agency called the Security and Exchange Commission, as corrupt as, let's say, let's say, this is, by the way, Theta, spoken about it before. I could speak to you again about it if you want to. Just contact me at, my email, phone, whatever. Good job. So, this fascination by the usual suspects of Bitcoin is for a specific reason. They hate it because they can't control it. They cannot control it. So, what do we do then? What do we do? Well, I'll tell you what we do. We are going to keep on doing us. And they're going to keep on doing them until they're stopped. And I am convinced that they will be stopped one of these days. Not today, unfortunately. So, this is interesting for you people who like to game. I envision a time, not because I'm smart, because I read smart people. I envision a time that we will be able to actually earn money while we play games. I mean, some of us waste a lot of time playing games, and to earn money doing it, well, that's a pretty good thing. Or our kids, they like to play games. Soon, I think that this burgeoning Web 3 thing is going to catch on, and we're going to be able to use in-game items as a moneymaker. A weapon if you're using a shooter game, or a player if you're playing one of the Madden games or something. I don't know how it's all going to work, but we'll be able to use that kind of stuff. So this article says Twitch co-founders Fractal, that's his company name, launches tools to help developers build NFT games. So if this guy Twitch is pretty big in the gaming world, and other things. I think it's a messenger service. I'm not sure, but it's going in the right direction if you're a gamer. That's for sure. So that's a direction we're going in. But then here we have this. Okay, this is from Decrypt magazine, an online magazine. So BlackRock files Bitcoin ETF application with the SEC. There's a litmus test here, ladies and gents. So the ETF is I think it's an electronically traded fund. If I'm not sure, correct me in the comments if you will. But what they do, the usual suspects do, the banking cabal, the conglomerate, what they do is they use ETFs to suppress or create bubbles in markets. So in this case, what they're going to try and do is create an ETF where they can index, so-called, the Bitcoin market, and all they'll have to do after that is use their bots or whatever it is that they use, their big whale accounts, to short Bitcoin, to undermine the asset itself. A lot of people say, well, Bitcoin's based on nothing. It's ethereal. It's in the air. It's digital. There's nothing backing it anyway. To that, I would say, one, yes. Two, so is the Federal Reserve note. Same. So we're going to see if, and this is where I go with this litmus testing, if BlackRock is well received by the SEC. Okay, because remember, the SEC is battling Coinbase and Binance right now. They're hammering them because, well, that's just the easy way to get Bitcoin or any other crypto, right? So they're going to hammer on that. I imagine it's coming down also for Cash App pretty soon. Don't know. But we're still going to be able to get our Bitcoin, and I'll keep you updated as I learn more. However, if BlackRock receives a good reception from the SEC, I would imagine that is a bad thing. Why? Because the SEC would ensure that it somehow undermines cryptocurrency and cryptocurrency trading, because that brings freedom to you and me. And that is exactly what the SEC does not want, especially that worm, Gary Gensler, the head of the SEC. Yes, he is a worm. So we'll see on that one. What's next here? Okay, this is what I wanted to talk about, pretty much. So this is the Gateway Pundit, okay? Donald Trump got arrested. Now, ladies and gents, he did not get arrested, okay? He was indicted. Perhaps if he was not a former president, he may have been arrested. Not sure. But the fact remains that he is being persecuted by communists. My word. Wasn't in the Gateway Pundit, but ladies and gents, they're global communists, okay? These are the people that own the UN. These are the people that own the World Economic Forum. They own, what other global conglomerates are out there? The Council on Foreign Relations, okay? That's supposedly, and it's just international. It's swampy. Swampy is a good word for it, yeah. So these people, the usual suspects, okay, are persecuting President Donald Trump. So here we have, and this is a photo of the resident, if you will. The resident did this. It was, I guess, an interview with, and he had a panel next to him. Some people were next to him, right? And basically, what happened was he threatened the prosecutor that was going to prosecute someone that he was financially encumbered with, or how would you say, receiving bribes from. So the title is, Donald Trump got arrested because Joe Biden took a $5 million bribe from a Ukrainian oligarch. Now, I think that $5 million number is only going to rise in the future. That is a drop in the bucket compared to what the usual suspects have been siphoning, okay, from worldwide governments, spy networks, all of those people that want an in to our country and the policies that our government stipulates, sets forth, and abides by. So the things that are being decided policy-wise, politically, are being decided oftentimes by other governments. Yes, ladies and gents, this is what it is. This is what it means. You might think, well, wait a minute. Really? And I'm here to tell you, yes. And you know who knew all this way before all this? We conspiracy theorists. We of the conspiracy community. Which basically sets now I want to say it's on a 2-week time delay. So if it comes out in the conspiracy verse 2 weeks later, well, even the most glassy-eyed TV watcher can learn about it, right? It's just the way things are, ladies and gentlemen. That's just the way they are. They're easily seen now. The apparatus that the usual suspects, the cabal, the cult, the deep state, whatever you want to call it, whatever they've been using is falling apart around us, which I think is a good thing. Okay, I think that's a very good thing. So the machinations of the deep state through their puppets, like this resident guy right here, this guy, they're being uncovered. And there are certain puppets that the deep state has that they really, really want to cover. If they're here, right, they want to cover behind the news, right? Their propaganda network. Because they're more valuable to them than, this guy. This guy. Grandpa Mushmouth. Follower-upper of stairs. So, hey Al, glad you're watching. Glad to see you. I'm talking about Mr. Biden here and his business, I guess you could say. I guess you could call it a business, So that was the one where that was the speech where he told them, well, or something about how he got fired. So he got the guy fired, right? Real funny, Joe. Real funny. Okay? So there is a lot to be said. There is a lot to be said about what is going on now. Okay? But what I want to tell you is, I want to tell you a lot of things, okay? Because I care. And I want people to know what, as far as I can decipher what's going on in the background, right? So, if you watch TV, you might not know that in 2017, okay, the FBI learned about this. They found out about this bribe, right? And in addition to the fact that they knew about this felony by a vice president, former vice president, right? The FBI was aware of 17 audio tapes discussing the bribe. So the guy he was bribing was smart enough to record all this. So they got up to 17 of them now. Well, this was as of the show prep. So who knows how many they have now? Could be exponential, like, reproduce like Gremlins, if you're old enough to remember Gremlins. So, last year, an FBI whistleblower informed Congress of the existence of the FBI's evidence against Biden. Okay. He or she exposed the existence of this document. It's an FBI document, FD 1023. So, that's where Comer got it to tell Ray, the head of the FBI, that, hey, you know what? This document you've been denying exists. We've seen it. We know it exists. So, Bookage, I'm glad to see that you're watching. I'm glad to see. I think I could probably do that switch and call you Jacob, I guess. Thank you for watching. So, the FBI director, Christopher Wray, he refused to provide the unclassified FD 1023 until it was demanded to the point where they said, we're going to hold you in contempt. We're going to, put charges against you, do that. Finally, he handed it over, right? But here's what happened, ladies and gents. He did not tell them because he redacted, okay, because weenies like that have power. He redacted the fact that the FBI had these audio tapes. Well, why would he do that? Because he doesn't want us to know. He doesn't want anybody to know. Because they're in on it, ladies and gents. They're in on it. Right? So, not a single, and this is part of this article if you want to read into it, not a single mainstream news outlet has reported on the crime of the millennium, the Gateway Pundit calls it. I don't know if it's the crime of the millennium. but it really does. It sucks. So, the New York Times, Washington Post, USA Today. I almost want to vomit. Talking about these people. ABC, NBC, CB. Keep it down on it. They refuse to allow mention of Biden's felony. Okay, this is again from the article. Instagram, Pinterest, whatever. They censor any mention of Biden's bribes. Ooh, Facebook is on there. That might not bode well for this broadcast. So we have some, and thank you for watching. We have some people up on watching this live. Hopefully it'll be around for you all who can watch it at your leisure. As Jonathan Higgins used to say from Magnum PI, leisure. So, thus Tucker Carlson was correct in lamenting that the American people are least informed people in the world. That we're not informed because the apparatus placed to mis and disinform us, which is the propaganda wing, it is successfully keeping us from getting information. So if you read a newspaper, if you watch TV, consider yourself ignorant, okay? And I don't mean that as an insult, because I'm ignorant of many things, we all are, right? But if you insist on watching TV news, if you insist on reading anything from the Associated Press, Reuters, I don't have any remedy for you other than to quit cold turkey. Your brain will thank you. So, it's crazy the way things are falling out, but that's just the way it is. And I want to explain these things, and I thank God that we have the ability to come in some sort of forum that is not blocked. And I'm going to get into that in a little bit also. Again, I don't want to take your whole day up, so I'm going to run through this real quick, but towards the end, I'm going to get on some real important stuff. It's going to be a good one, guys. You're going to enjoy this. So, here's another one. And there is the resident picking his nose. Now, everybody likes to go gold digging now and again, but when you know the cameras, the press is right there. I mean, he's the guy everybody wants to see. I can do, but nobody cares. But when you're supposed to be you're supposed to be the president. Maybe not really, but you're supposed to be the president. Act like it. All right? So this is again from the Gateway Pundit. Biden regime endangers animals and harms national security after approving taxpayer-funded EV battery factory in Michigan, backed by communist China. You don't say. The communists are backing it. The communists are running this battery factory. We look further into the article a little bit. The Biden regime managed to endanger animals, the environment, and destroy property rights in Michigan on Tuesday. That's not all the bad they've been doing, but it is considerable for the people of Michigan. He's messing up their community there. So we're going to have $175 million in state taxpayer dollars being lavished on the project, says the Gateway Pundit. If you think that any Chinese corporation is anything other than a communist corporation, you are wrong. They do not tolerate any type of freedom in the business or any other world, really. There's really no freedom there. And, well, they like it that way. And that's what the guys who own Grandpa Mushmouth want for us. We're not going to give it to them, though. No. No, ladies and gents, we will not. We will not go quietly into that good night. So, here's a good thing. Thank you, Governor Abbott. Texas reinstates election fraud as a felony crime with a maximum 20-year prison sentence. Very good. That woman, that lovely woman right there, I want to say she was a Houston resident, but I'm not sure. She got sacked up. This was a while back, but it's a picture because she was cheating. I'll let you guess what party she cheated for. Here's an interesting one, ladies and gents. For all of you that like Alexa, Amazon brazenly locks out man of his smart home. How smart is that? After false allegation in latest Big Brother tech move. Brandon Jackson is a smart guy with a smart home. The Microsoft engineer's home in Baltimore is set up to allow him to remotely monitor and control systems throughout the house, such as security cameras, lights, and thermostats, even when nobody's home. I'll cut to the chase. So a delivery driver came and dropped off a package at his door, rang the doorbell like, they're supposed to do. I guess he had headphones on. I read the whole article, so. Walks away. It's not a Ring doorbell. It's some other kind of doorbell, and it's got a pre-programmed message for whoever comes by. The delivery guy misunderstood it, whatever, and he reported back to his superiors that he was racially harassed, and Amazon locked this guy out of all of the things that he controlled in his home. Alarm, cameras, thermostat, probably appliances. He's a Microsoft engineer. He's probably a whiz at all that stuff. And here's the irony. This Microsoft engineer, just like the delivery man, is an African American, a black man. So it was not anything racial at all. Yet they shut him down. Ladies and gents, do you see where they are bringing us? There was an old movie called The Warriors. Al, if you're still watching, you will remember this movie, okay? And they had Isaac Hayes, and he was playing, I can't remember, he was a boss there in the New York prison, because all of New York, or maybe it was all of Manhattan, was a prison. So Snake Plissken was sent in there. That's Kurt Russell. Kurt Russell played Snake Plissken. And this character of Isaac Hayes used to say, "Can you dig it?" So he'd say something crazy or logical and then yell to all his followers with usually a baseball bat or some other weapon in his hand, "Can you dig it?" That's what I ask right now, ladies and gents. Do you see what they're going to do to you if you allow them to hook up your appliances, your home, your alarm, your phones, your TVs to the grid, the Internet of Things? Do you see it coming? Can you dig it? I can. And I don't like it. So I'm not going to do it. Oh. So this guy, this Microsoft engineer who had this happen to him, says he's going to switch to Siri. Can everyone do this? He's going to switch to Siri. Alexa did him wrong. Amazon did him wrong. So he's going to switch to Siri. You can't make this stuff up, ladies and gents. You can't make this stuff up. See, I'm getting myself worked up here. Another sip. Okay. We're coming to the gist of what I really want to talk to you all about. I'm going through chapter 25 of the book of Acts. And the scenario is this. Paul is in prison. But not a real prison, right? So he's basically confined to a palace, right? So he has been preaching Jesus Christ and the gospel and his message. Well, the old guard, the Jewish Sanhedrin, principally in Jerusalem, okay, was going after him. And they were going after him viciously. They wanted to kill him. They wanted nothing more than to kill Paul because, well, they wanted to kill him. Let's just leave it at that. I won't say too much on that. Hopefully you read a Bible now and again. Please, again, let me pop this up here. You got some questions? You got things you want to talk to me about or you want me to mention? Right there. bitcoinouter.media@gmail.com. Okay? Please. Let me know. I'll help you try to find the answers you want. or you need, right? I don't know. I don't have all the answers, but I can find some for you. So the scenario is this: he is with a governor, a Roman governor in well, you could say Caesarea or you could say Caesarea. Tomato, tomato, right? So he's going into a courtroom, and he is going to be tried for crimes that the Jewish leaders have levied upon him and want the ruler of the territory, in this case it's Festus, to rule in their favor and basically, either one of two things: either kill Paul or allow them to take care of it and send Paul to Jerusalem. So let me show you this excerpt I took from a commentary of the Bible by, and if you really want to dig into Bible study, Matthew Henry is extraordinary. He wrote from the late 1800s to the early 1900s, or I'm sorry, I'm a little bit modern on that because it was actually the late 1600s to the early 1700s. Okay? Brilliant, brilliant man. So let me give you a snippet here of this. And I'm going to turn off the camera so you don't get distracted. So let me read this to you real quick. So the governors, this is Matthew Henry, okay? So he, again, 1600, 1700. So, the words might not be something that we often speak, but you'll understand them. The governor's resolution that Paul should take his trial at Caesarea, where he now is, verses 4 and 5. Again, that's chapter 25 of Acts. See how he manages the prosecutors. He will not do them the kindness to send for him to Jerusalem. No, he didn't want to do that, right? So, getting to the gist of it, okay? He refused to give the Jews what they wanted, but also refused Paul what he wanted, which was freedom, right? So, here's where it is. This is what I really want to explain in this. So, what happened was they had plotted to kill Paul. And they were at one time found out and Paul was guarded. But this time it wasn't found out what they wanted to do. And here's this statement right here. God is not tied to one method in working out salvation for his people. He can suffer the designs against them to be concealed. In this case, the Jews had very well concealed their intent. Now, Festus may have known, but it didn't come out in court. It wasn't revealed that they were going to kill him on the road to Jerusalem or right there when he got to whatever they were going to do. Their plans were concealed. And yet not suffer, this is God, and yet not suffer them to be accomplished. They were not accomplished. The plans of these people were not accomplished. And this is where I want to go with this. And can make even the carnal policies of great men to serve his gracious purposes, God's gracious purposes. Okay? When he uses the term great here, he doesn't mean great as in super. He means great as in large and authoritative. So I'm going to bring that, okay, to the people that are after Donald J. Trump. So God, he can suffer the designs against them. In this case, I'm talking about Donald. This was talking about Paul. Originally it was Paul. So I'm making this template to show you what is going on with the current situation with Donald Trump, because the plans are not very well concealed, what they want to do to him, but somewhat concealed because, well, they're not going to tell you the truth on the news about it. But God will not suffer them to be accomplished. If our prayers are being answered, if America is to be saved, if we as Americans are to remain free, okay, God can even make the carnal policies of great men to serve his gracious purposes. So we're going to see, ladies and gents, we are going to see whether or not this succeeds. This plan to destroy Donald Trump succeeds. Because every time the good guys bring something out about the Biden crime family, or any part of government that is, shady and crooked, which nowadays is pretty much all of it. They're going to come against Donald Trump. They're going to. He's got, every time it's brought forward, every time more evidence comes around, they're going to come out with it. So the news is nonstop 24/7 arraignment, indictment of Donald Trump. A sitting president has a going bribery scheme ongoing with Ukraine, a nation that we are currently throwing billions of dollars at, and you're not seeing anything about that. What does that tell you? That should tell you everything you need to know. You get nothing of the criminal activity. You only get how they're going to nail Donald Trump, right? Because he's wanted. But you know what? He's wanted. And thank you, Andy. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Andy. He's wanted by many of us. And I'm telling you, we're going to win. We're going to win, ladies and gents. It's just a matter of time. Just a matter of time. One more thing from Mr. Matthew Henry for you before I let you go. I have heard, and let me preface this. I have read that when Donald Trump was in the courtroom, when he was being arraigned, there were snickerings of the reporters. There was mockery of the reporters. And now they're flipping it around now, saying that Donald Trump mocked a reporter. No. The story is that they were laughing at Donald Trump. Because again, they think they got him. They think they have him where they want him. Couldn't be further from the truth. But they think they got him. Again, they think they got him. This time, for the millionth time. They think they have him. So I can imagine the courtroom scene of these people whispering to each other and mocking Donald Trump and so forth, right? So let's read what the scenario looked like when Paul was being arraigned. So this is in verse 7 of Acts 25. The Jews stood round about, surrounded him, which intimates that they were many. Lord, how they are increased that trouble me. That's from a psalm. It intimates also that they were unanimous. They stood by one another and resolved to hold together, and that they were intent upon the prosecution and eager in clamoring against Paul. Can you see this, ladies and gentlemen? Can you see the parallels here? This God gave me this morning. It was just this morning I was reading this. Thank you, Lord. They stood round about, if possible, to frighten the judge into a compliance with their malicious design, or at least to frighten the prisoner, Paul in this case, and to put him out of countenance, but in vain. Ladies and gents, I want to talk to you right now. Donald Trump is not scared. Donald Trump is not afraid. So all of this mess that they're doing is in vain. Back to Matthew Henry. He had too just and strong an assurance, Paul did, to be frightened by them. What was that just and strong assurance of Paul? Here's another psalm for you. They compassed me about like bees, but they are quenched as the fire of thorns. That was Psalm 118. Going back to Paul's situation, when they stood round about him, they brought many and grievous accusations against Paul. So it should be read. They charged him with high crimes and misdemeanors. Where have we heard that before, ladies and gents? That term is old. The articles of impeachment. This is still Matthew Henry, ladies and gentlemen. Still Matthew Henry. I hope you can understand why I saw the parallels here. The articles of impeachment were many and contained things of a very heinous nature. They stood round about. They wanted to put him out of countenance, meaning they wanted him to slip up. They wanted to break his confidence, to crack his demeanor, his confidence in himself, his confidence in the ability of himself to successfully come out of these false accusations. They encompassed him round about. Ladies and gentlemen, when we see Donald Trump surrounded, when we see the hyenas nipping at his heels, I want you, please, you're going to see a lot of news. You're going to see a lot of things on TV. He is not afraid. First of all, as God tells us in the Bible, he who is with us is stronger than he who is against us. I believe, and who am I, right? Who am I? But I believe that this American endeavor is not over. A lot of people think we're in the end times, and they have reasons to. And if they're right, this is why I pray for God to stay his hand of justice. Because it's been done before. Biblically, it's been done before. And many of us are praying for the same thing. Lord God, have mercy. So, as they stood round about Paul, they wanted to crack him, they wanted to break him. This is why, ladies and gentlemen, no one else will do. My good friends like Al, believe that Donald Trump would be good if he would just tone it down a bit. If he wouldn't talk so much. Maybe that's true, but that's who he is. That's how he works through, punches through the resistance. He's not going to crack, ladies and gents. And neither will we. Neither will we. This country is ours. If you want some energizing, revitalizing, watch Donald Trump's 2016 inauguration speech. Just do it. Try it. You want to see what he really meant, means, and will accomplish? Listen to his speech in 2016. Watch the men of the military come and stand behind him. Oh, yes. Never happened before. Never happened before. They stood behind him. It was silent. You didn't hear the cue. He didn't say, hey, guys, there's somebody. You didn't see any emotions behind. Nothing. Just these military members behind him. And then at some point, they backed off. Ladies and gents, our first and only true ultimate hope is Jesus Christ. For me, yeah, you can believe what you want to believe. This is a free country. God gave us free will. I am not your keeper, nor your judge. But when we see things with our right eyes from an objective viewpoint, and I know it's tough to stay objective. Maybe I'm not the guy to preach objectivity. But the fact of the matter is, especially wearing a shirt like this, but the fact of the matter is this. Donald Trump is the man for the job. Now, I'm not going to endorse him for president. Do you hear me, everyone? I am not endorsing anyone for president. I'm on the record now that I'm not endorsing him for president. However, if you think a guy like DeSantis or Pence or a war hawk like Nikki Haley is going to be able to take the withering pressure and attack of the deep state, of these jackals, you're mistaken. First of all, They won't have to. Why? Because they're owned. They're assets. They'll do exactly what other Republicans do. Comply. And where will we be? In a gulag. Or going out in a blaze of glory. Whatever it takes. So, that being said, I want to end the show with thanking God for us, the freedoms we have here in the United States of America. Thank you for giving us the ability to say these things and keep saying them. And, Joe, may you be well. May you get well soon. And Lord willing, you're not too sick. You'll be back on your feet in no time, doing what it is you do best, brother. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being with us today on the Bitcoin Otter Show. I hope God blesses you, your families, where you are at and what you are doing, in what you're doing. God bless America. Have a great day, a great week. Bye.